Hello, everyone. It's been a while. Happy new month. Hope you've been well. I'm just going to jump straight into this because I'm very passionate about this subject. Now, many of you already know this, but I'm an author on Webnovel, and things have been crazy on this app for a while now. I've seen a few videos on this subject matter from, say, Mr. Mysteries and a few other YouTubers that are into that scene, but this is the first time I'm talking about it clearly, and I think it's just because I've had enough. Every time I open the Webnovel app, I see a feature, I see books being promoted, whether on weekly feature, whether as banner, whether in the library. And these books really, they irk me. And I could be a hater, maybe I'm just being a hater, no. But I don't know, just seeing these books, it makes me feel a certain way about Webnovel. And I think it's hurting the brand more than it's actually helping it. So usually how this thing goes is like if your book is doing really well, you get promoted as is, the standard for every app. In YouTube, for example, if this video does well, you see it's being promoted to more consumers. But and on Webnovel, it follows the same standard. The problem is the kind of content being promoted. It is no secret that sex sells, right? Smart books and sexy covers and attractive clickbaity titles. They draw in the readers, they draw in an audience. So when you make books like that, you are guaranteed or almost guaranteed a certain audience, that will add your book to their library, that will support your work, that will comment a lot and all of those things. And what it does is it raises the views of your book and it gives this book this huge boost, which by algorithm standards, it's just going to trigger the algorithm and then your book is just going to be recommended to more people. And then the more people are reading the book, the more it's going to get features and it's going to be promoted to more people. And yes, I mean there's no problem with that, right? The books that the readers enjoy, get to be promoted to more readers. That's just the standard of the industry. The problem is when these sort of books become very commonplace and become like the new banner. Like it just becomes what when readers enter the app, this is just what they see. This slop, this smut and trashy books. And as someone who has been on Webnovel for like 4 years now, it's very sad to see because I knew it wasn't always like this. There was a time, right, that when you open Webnovel, you see these amazing books. I mean, the books were not like peak, mainstream books. A lot of mainstream books are not like the best of web novels, but at least you will see a lot of effort and heart and love and effort being put into these titles and into these projects. And someone who has been a reader of web novel and who is also an author of web novel, like it's just mind boggling. And why I say it causes more harm than good to the brand is, firstly, you do not want your app, your reading app, right, to have that kind of reputation. You don't want that readers are coming to your app and seeing that, because the kind of readers that will eventually take your app seriously and come to your app are a certain kind of reader, and it's just not a good look. Like serious-minded readers come to Web Novel for just a few books, like Shadow Slave, of course, and like a dozen books in the top ranking anyway, in the top ranks, like a dozen, a few dozen. But most of the books, they are just like, most of the books visible to readers are slop. So what happens is the really good books are shoved to the sidelines and then these trashy books are being seen. Now, your book can be really good, but then who will know if they don't see it? That's the problem. And to be honest, I know a bit of web novels marketing and everything. And to be honest, they give books like some features before like they stop giving features. Like there are certain features that are short to every book, but then these features are given to many books. So the books are not particularly going to really stand out. Imagine if I create a book and I get a few guaranteed features, but then many people are also guaranteed that same feature. So it's just going to be saturated and it's just like many people are going to be featured at the same time. So your book is not going to really have that much of a chance to shine, especially if like it doesn't have a clickbaity title, it doesn't have a clickbaity book cover and all of that. And there's nothing wrong inherently in having clickbaity titles and covers and all of those things. But when a vast majority of your books are a certain way, it promotes it and it also encourages authors to go down that route. I can't count how many authors have told me, Magecrafter, create a smart book, write a smart book. That's the trend. When you make it a trend to go down that route and more authors follow that rabbit hole, like it diminishes the credibility of the site. It diminishes the value that web novel actually gives, and it hurts me. Like, it hurts me. I just, for an author like me that cannot just compromise and make smart books, it's hard to like adjust and adapt. And maybe the fault is mine. Maybe I should just move along with the times. But I just feel like there's something off and wrong about this whole system, that small books are getting a lot of attention and they are being pushed. I do feel like while web novel, has, I won't say the best system when it comes to merit, I do feel like it has to have like, it's trying, but it should have more of a filter on these smart books. I know that web novel, the algorithm especially, can be very brutal and also meritocratic. Like, if your book is doing well, it will get promoted. I've been a beneficiary of this. My friends have been a beneficiary of this. Like, if readers are flocking to your books, that's great. And if readers aren't really flocking to your book is likely going to die. So I feel like web novels should put systems in place where books that are not really doing well have like chances to shine. And also, like, smart books that, are doing really well should still have more caveats. Like, it can't, because if we push this same ideology to every industry, the really, really valuable books, the books that have real value, the content that really matters, like, they are not really going to get much love and attention. Like, a book can be a 10 out of 10, but if it doesn't have that catchy stuff and whatever, you are never going to see it. And so you're never going to really enjoy it. And you're never going to find out what an amazing work it is. And web novel is rife with books like this. And instead of promoting smart and creating this endless cycle, we should be focusing more on those underrated books and just trying to push more content. Wouldn't you want to see more Shadow Slave, like more books like Shadow Slave, rather than I can't even word the names of some of these books. Like, it's absurd, and it's disheartening that web novel, the platform I love so much and I've spent so much of my time on and with, is doing stuff like this, and I just want it to change. That's all I have to say. Yeah.